Man, so yes, I experienced three explosions in my mind over the period of the 21st of December during the Great Conjunction. I just want to talk to you a little bit more about that and what I experienced, and some of the upgrades that I experienced during this period of time. Up until the conjunction, I was just feeling very fatigued, very tired, not being able to function properly and stuff like this. But now we're on the other side, my energy is back and I feel a lot better. I don't know how it's been for you. I'd love to hear your stories below in the comments. Let me know a little bit more about that, and please support this video by clicking the like button. It helps this video get out to more people. So initially I had planned to meet some friends to do meditation and just do healings and stuff on this day, and just getting totally aligned, opening the heart and things like this. And then I connected in with my higher self. I connected in with what I call the future self, and I basically asked whether or not I should be going to this event and meeting up with people. And I just tuned into my soul, tuned into my intuition, and the answer that I was getting back is that, I just need to focus on myself, be alone, and go through this process of what we call the Great Conjunction. In the UK, in London, on that day, on the 21st, it was cloudy. Like, it was cloudy. You couldn't see the stars, you couldn't see anything. So I still went outside and I went for a walk in nature, and I was walking around, and I was doing some light language in the park. And yeah, I was just walking around, kind of tuning into the energy of the alignment of these planets, Saturn and Jupiter. And yeah, I was just walking around and just sort of receiving what I needed to receive. And then I was called to go back home. So I went back home, and it's where I'm laying right now, actually. Is the exact position that I was laying down in. I'm actually laying on some bean bags right now, and this is the position I was laying in. I can't remember what I was doing, but I found, like, I do a lot of reprogramming stuff, and then I found this subconscious pattern that needed to be worked on. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I was programming myself, and I fell asleep. Like, I literally conked out. I fell asleep, but I was like aware. When you're asleep, but you're like kind of awake at the same time. It was like that. And then, like, when I was sleeping, it was like I was still doing like this reprogramming process in my mind automatically. And as I was doing it, there was like a pop or an explosion in my mind. It was like, and my mind went all fuzzy, like making this like crazy noise in my head. And it felt like in between, like good and bad. Like, it didn't feel like, oh, something bad's gonna happen, and it didn't feel like amazingly pleasurable either. But it felt like, when you go to the gym and you work out and you're building muscle, it's like a natural pain that you're supposed to feel. It was kind of like that. And I was a little bit scared, but not too scared, because I've done things like ayahuasca, and you experience things like that anyway. So for me, it was not too much of a scary experience. I didn't know exactly what was happening, but my arm started to move by itself, and it went into a certain position, and I tried to move it back to where it was before, but it kept on moving. Like, the energy just kept on moving my arm back. I didn't understand why that was, so I just left it. And then my mind kept on doing this, sort of reprogramming, or like just diving into my subconscious or whatever it was. And as I kept on doing that, another explosion happened in my mind. So, and this explosion, it felt like it took me much deeper into myself. It took me into a deeper layer, and I just became way more relaxed, and I kind of sunk into the cushion or the beanbag that I'm laying on right now, even more so. And I felt even more comfortable within it. And I kind of blanked out from then, And then I don't know how long later it was, but I kind of like came back, and then there was a third explosion. And after that, I was completely conked out. Like I went somewhere. It felt like it felt like I only went away for like, it felt like I fell asleep for like literally 2 seconds. But when I woke up, it had been a couple hours. And so this was a crazy experience for me. From this experience, I've been able to connect with what they call the white-winged angels or whatever. It's like the nine. And I was able to have a connection with them, and now I'm able to actually work with them and communicate with them. And I've got certain like healing upgrades that have happened to me as well. So like my ability to heal myself and others has increased. I haven't yet practiced it on too many people, only a few people, and I've seen notable differences in my healing modalities and things like this. So I don't know what else has happened, but I feel like this process is continuing to happen, and it's not just a like quick, overnight thing. Yeah, a lot of it's happened already, but I feel like for a lot of people, it's not just like, oh, on the 21st, everything's going to change. It's more like everything's going to change over a certain period of time. Okay, so we're in the age of Aquarius now. And so we're in an Aquarius type energy. And so this is very good for people who are, born in January, I think January, end of January. I'm not sure. I think it's like towards the end of January and February, beginning of February. This is very good for the Aquariuses, especially if, I believe it's for the next 5 years is very good for them. After that, like I just kind of like relaxed and, thought about my goals. I actually wrote my goals out, to some of my goals out today. I listed them out really quickly and wrote them on my phone. I put them on my phone real quick, and I haven't gone into detail on them, but it was just like, okay, I connected in with my higher self. I connected in with source. I connected in with the nine. I connected in with my future self. I connected in with all of these things. And my goals are coming through me. It's not coming from my ego. A lot of people, they create their goals from the ego. I want this. I want that. I want to create this. I want to have an amazing relationship. I want to make more money. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with having ego-based goals. But for me, the stage that I'm at in my life is like, I want all my goals to come through source. I want to be doing what I'm meant to be doing, not what my ego says I should be doing. And so I try my best to unlearn as much as possible and not try to think I know it all. There's a much more powerful intelligence out there. Nature in itself is very intelligent. And when we connect in more with nature, we connect in more with the planetary system and our guides and things like this, and we have things come through us, I think that's a much better way to manifest the reality that we want. And through doing that, you will be able to manifest more abundance easier. You will be able to manifest more success easier. The relationships that you want, the things that you want, because you're just in alignment with your truth. You're in alignment with what you're here to do, and you've become an open vessel rather than a logical being trying to take control of your reality. And the interesting thing is, everything that up until now has been taught to you by other egos. And so there's so much power in tuning into your heaven, which is within you, and just tapping into truth rather than listening to what the external world has taught you. We look at a society right now, we got, things going on in the world like the Sharona and lockdown and all these things, and it's like, do you really want to continue listening to these people who like manipulate the world and like control us and try and like make us perceive reality in a certain way? And the film industry and movies, the television, music, the news, all this stuff, why would we want to continue following that and not listening to our hearts, tapping in within and creating a new world? Okay, and that's what I think this conjunction is going to do for a lot of people. It's going to wake a lot of people up, and have them function from reality, not based on the ego construct. The ego construct has its place. I just think the ego has been programmed in the wrong way, and the ego, because it's been programmed in the wrong way, I feel like people are completely stuck in the ego and not being aware of themselves. And so we have sociopaths, narcissists, megalomaniacs, psychopaths, people who are just egotistical in general. And again, that's one. I'm not saying that that's wrong, by the way. I think it's just a function of using the mind, or what we call the brain, wrong. And so that's why they function in that way. And so we want to kind of move away from that and move into inner peace, love, creating a heaven within, purifying your mind more and more, and having a higher intelligence guide us. And we are part of this intelligence, not like there's a separation, but having this intelligence flow through us so that we are playing the game of life in the correct manner. Ultimately, the core of our reality, or the core of who we truly are, is love. And when we function and operate from this space of love, and we continue to dive deeper into love, not ego-based love, not love in terms of romance. People think, oh, I want love, I want a relationship, I want love, all this stuff. That is egotistical love. Sorry, but it's the truth. and these are the kind of programs we want to begin to learn and understand, that that the love from the universe, or the love from God, or the love from a higher power is totally unconditional. The love sometimes from a parent to her daughter or son is like an unconditional kind of love, or from a pet to the pet's owner. There's sort of this unconditional, love going on. And for most like relationships or romance, it's an ego-based love. It's an exchange of energy, and a lot of people do not acknowledge that about themselves when they're desiring for a relationship. And so it's undoing all of these behaviors, ideas, and perspectives, and stepping more into that abundant state and that loving state of it being and stemming from source and unconditional. And so for me, I still got work to do. Everyone's still got work to do. But I feel like I've come a long way since from where I've come from, and the 21st of December, it just feels like a new start. It feels like a fresh start. It feels like a brand new life. And the next day when I woke up from that experience, I felt totally refreshed. I felt brand new. And, I've had certain synchronicities happen since then. I'm not going to dive into that right now, but I feel like everything is lining up right now, and just be open to that. Be open to things lining up. Get your goals down. Write down your goals. Get clear on what your goals are. Burn a purple candle if you have one, or buy a purple candle. Purple symbolizes spirituality, and just tap into your future. Right? Tap into the timeline of your highest timeline. Tap into your highest timeline and go ahead and create a reality based on unconditional love. Create a reality of what you truly want. And that could be about health, that could be about fitness, that could be about business, career, family, friends, romance. It could be about your finances. It could be about your personal development, fun, creation, your spirituality. It could be about all of these things. Yeah. But it's like, it needs to come from the right space, and that's where I'm heading in 2021, moving forward. In terms of things like, the lockdown and all this stuff, and, the vaccines and all this stuff, I think you already know, and we want to empower ourselves and be sovereign, and just do our best to stay in the frequency of inner peace. And there's nothing to be afraid of, You know, one of the most powerful things you can do is just not be afraid of death, and don't be afraid of losing all your money and all. And that's easier said than done, but that's what they're trying to do, right? They're trying to make you feel afraid so that you lose love, so that you can be controllable, right? And so, you know, they're going to push us against the wall. I believe they're going to push us against the wall until we crack. And, you know, you can't crack if you're operating from love. All right. So just remember that. Stay in love. I'm going to be doing, you know, more videos to keep you aligned, keep reminding you, and meditations. The Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo meditation is going to come out soon. So make sure you subscribe and get that. And if you want a free energy reading or a manifestation diagnosis session, there'll be a link in the pinned cards or pinned comment or the description. And leave a comment below with your experience so far with the 21st of December conjunction experience. That's about it. I love you. I appreciate you. And I'll speak to you in the next video. Peace.